Welcome to Indie Depth, the show where we go in depth with independent filmmakers. I'm your host, Andrew Froning, and today I'm here with Jes Meeley of This Jes Productions. Jes recently had a short film called Pay Me No Mime that aired on Channel 13, which is super, super exciting. And you've won Best Short Runner-Up and Best Actress, and you've written and directed this. How does that feel to have so much success from a short project, which is
so
rare,
exciting.
I feel. Yeah.
For the whole team.
Yeah. It's rare, it seems, for a short to go, maybe beyond a couple film festivals or YouTube,
Yeah.
but you got yours on TV.
Yes.
That's terrific. How did that happen?
I think I had seen an ad on Facebook. So the competition is called Reel 13, REEL 13.
Okay.
And any filmmakers can submit. I don't think it even asks if you're from the area. They just do an international contest. You have to meet qualifications, which is basically just that it's under 10 minutes, I believe. And I submitted it and I forgot about it. And then they were like, hey, you qualified. You're in the, final round. Do you still want to do this? If yes, we're going to put it to a vote with 2 other shorts. And whoever gets the most votes in 1 week is going to air on television. So I didn't know whether or not we had a chance because the other 2 projects were really interesting too. One was about a girl who, I think she turned like 25 and she was auditioning for a teenage role. And she's like, I'm too old for this. And it had a lot of like magical realism to it. I thought it was really good.
Okay.
But I mean, the whole contest, like the main thing with any audience choice, you have to tell everybody to vote.
Sure. Oh, my chair. I should mention I have a pneumatic chair that slides down, so every now and then I get a little bit of a shock.
Gosh.
But that's terrific. And while we're talking about a non-traditional release for a short film, you've recently done some projects. I remember hearing something about a quarantine pandemic, COVID-19 project, as well as you've done some monologues with actors that it wasn't just like you slapped them in front of a white wall and they were talking to no one, but they were produced like shorts, so you do a lot of non-traditional things as well.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I had a monologue sitting around for what I was hoping was going to be a fully developed short, and I knew some actors who needed stuff for their reels, or at least I wanted them to have stuff for their reels. Like, I just wanted to support everybody and be like, I know you're a great actress. I want to get you more work. And to do that, you have to have previous work to share with people. So it's a comedic monologue. It's about 2 to 3 minutes on paper, but then, you film it and everybody has their own interpretation of it. So a lot of them varied from like 2.5 minutes to 5 minutes. And it just takes place in a house. So I got really lucky with my actors. I asked everybody, do you have a location in mind when you're reading this? A lot of them was like, yeah, my house will work. We brought in a really small crew, camera, sound, and it was 2 actors, somebody to interact with. And we did them 3 weekends, pretty close, back to back almost. So it was kind of a learning curve for me because you don't realize how many people have boring white walls and have to make it look interesting.
That's why I've, decorated mine with all this crap.
Yeah, I just threw this stuff up. It's usually behind my computer where only I can see it.
All right, set dressing.
But yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. And I worked with some actors for the first time. They worked with each other for the first time. It was great networking for everyone. We had 4 different DPs. I think I had the same sound guy on everyone. And even some of those DPs I was working with for the first time, they're using their own cameras. They wanted to have fun and play with new equipment.
Nice.
Yeah, so I feel like everybody benefited something from it. And then I just cut it together myself, colored it, which was really simple. I got some help from the DPs for that. It was just a really big collaboration, and I want to keep doing it.
That's great. And speaking of collaboration, you're working on a project during this pandemic.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about that and how that came about and how you're able to work with people.
Yeah, so pretty early on in this, probably like the third week of March, I was looking for some new jobs to do during or after this whole pandemic. I really want to finally just focus on writing. And a lot of the jobs are asking for different material, a variety. I'm used to comedy. Um, so I wanted to go a little bit darker. I'm really inspired by Saturday Night Live skits, and they have a skit called The War in Words, which is two characters in two different locations writing letters back and forth to each other.
Hmm.
One of them is a soldier in a war, and the other one is his wife. And he is like thirsty for information, and he's trying to pull stuff out of her. And the comedy comes from her just being so like not all there. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I wrote something based off of that format. It's called The Lockdown in Letters.
Hmm.
And I got really lucky. One of my girlfriends from college, Jess Arena, she's very tech savvy. She's used to being behind the camera, but she's also an actress and she's used to editing and everything. She did the monologue that we were talking about previously, and she basically did everything except for write it.
Hmm.
So we got to collaborate again on this pandemic project. So I hooked up with her to be one of the actors. And then we had to talk to a few other people to see who really had the accessible resources. And then we ended up getting Buddy Kane to be our second actor. So it's supposed to take place between a wife and her husband at the start of this whole pandemic. He went out to get a bottle of liquor just as they were closing the state lines. So he's stuck at a hotel somewhere else in another state. And they're writing each other letters. And so each of the actors really had to take direction, but also some creative liberties using just what they had and set the camera up on the tripod and just read their scenes by themselves. And everything came together so well. Like it looks amazing. And we have it in post now. We're waiting for some original music. But yeah, it's a big collaboration between This Just Films and JA Cinema, which is Jess Arena's production company.
Awesome. Can't
Yeah.
wait to see it.
Yeah, I feel like it's just really important for everybody to be doing something right now. Like you can't really not. Like there's kind of no excuse, especially if you're not going into work like you usually were. If your schedule is much more looser right now, you have so much time.
Right. It's either this or, stress out
Yeah.
to the max.
Yeah, it's nice to have a distraction, and that's kind of what our form has always been. Like it's a little break from reality.
Right. Well, that's great. Stay creative.
Yes.